first order of business is nominating a chairman for this year.
Johnny, you do a good job. I just nominate you to continue on.
Is there any more nominations?
No, I'll
Second.
second that.
All right, I guess by default.
By default. By
Chairman.
default, you're the chairman.
All right, the first order of business will be the minutes of the last meeting, October 6th. If everybody's had a chance to look over them, entertain a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Got a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Looks like the next thing we got is a resolution to increase court costs to defray cost of legal representation and support services provided indigent defendants in criminal proceedings. And I believe this gentleman's here to talk to us about this resolution.
I'm Jeff Harmon. I'm your district public defender. I greatly appreciate your letting me speak before you tonight. The request that I'm making for this office is a request for you, for the county commission to modify court costs in criminal cases. And I'd like to explain why we're making the request. We have a big district. In fact, I was all the way on the north end of the district today in court in Ray County. The Scopes Monkey trial courtroom, we still use it every day. I was there today, so it's really neat to do that. But we have a district that from top to bottom is about 120 miles, 2 time zones, 2 sets of mountains. Beautiful place. I've lived in Sequatchie Valley my whole life, but it's a big place and a lot of courts to cover in those 6 counties. If you start at the top with Ray, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, Marion, then up on the mountain to Grundy, and then on this side into Franklin. And we get appointed cases where folks, if they cannot afford a lawyer and they're charged with a crime, the court appoints a lawyer. Well, anytime you hear that on TV or movies, I'm that guy. So what I tell folks is, may you never need me because it means you're in trouble and you're broke. But when I introduce myself. But sometimes people are able to pay some. And the judges can, or let's say you have some funds, but not enough just to flat out hire a lawyer, the judge can order a person to pay a partial fee. Usually it's between $50 and $200. And that sounds good, but that money when paid actually just goes to Nashville. It doesn't stay local and it doesn't go to the benefit of our people. But there is a statute, it's 4014-210, and it allows the county commission by a 2/3 vote, if they see fit, to adjust court costs by $12.50 in those cases. Where they came up with $12.50, I really don't know. It's been the law for over 20 years now. We've never saw it before. We've never saw any local funding because court costs are fairly high already. But we're to the point that I feel like it would really help me do a better job, and I'll tell you why, is we really need an investigator. My office does not have one. The local DAs in this district have 2, and I'm happy for them. I want good investigations. I know you're in law enforcement, but I'm sure you can back me up and say it's really important to do a good investigation and be prepared in a case. I hate being unprepared. I mean, I like being ready and doing as good a job as I can. And when we handle courts, we're able to cover all of our courts. But when let's say there's a trial set, and if the district attorney gives us a list of potential witnesses, we have to try to go out, find them, interview them if they will talk to us, if we have any witnesses of our own, to serve subpoenas. And I'm not too good to do that. I've done it, I never thought I'd say for 30 years. It seemed like yesterday I just got out of law school. And I will continue to do that, but to be able to cover the courts and represent the folks like we need to, I feel like, that having that investigator would help us have a bit more of a level playing field. Now, I was looking at some of my notes here. A couple of things I do want to stress. This would not affect your property tax, your sales tax, It is, for lack of a better term, a user fee for those who use the courts, and it's only in cases where there is a finding of guilt as well. I've spoken with all 6 circuit court clerks, but I've spoken with Robert Baggett about this. The clerk, just like any other cost or litigation tax, they're allowed to get 5%. So anything they do collect for us, they get their portion of it right off the top. Since we have 6 counties, if you all see fit to help us out, the clerk will, when they collect it, usually it's about monthly, they will remit that actually to our conference office in Nashville. I'm not a bookkeeper, and frankly, I don't want to touch the money. It would go to the fiscal director up there, and they would have a dedicated account just for this district, for the 12th Judicial District, for the use. And there is a list of things it can be used for. Right off the top of my head, the biggest 2 things that districts that do get 1250 money use it for is personnel, like an investigator or a sentencing advocate, something like that, and training from time to time. Well, I really want to try to use it for an investigator. The way Nashville tells me it would have to be done is they have to bank 2 years of salary and benefits before we could even get around to hiring someone. I honestly don't know how long that would take. And honestly, I don't have anybody in mind at this point in time. But I figure if we start building toward that, hopefully we can eventually hire someone. Now, a couple of districts that touch you all, the 17th right next door, which includes Lincoln and Moore counties, I know touch Franklin County, that both of those counties, 1250 monies have been approved. And Coffee County, the 14th, it's been approved. I started out with my request. I'm from Dunlap, and I started in Sequatchie County, and thankfully they approved it unanimously. The next commission I went to was Marion. They approved it unanimously. Then Bledsoe, fortunately got the same result. And just 2 nights ago in Dayton, I went before the Ray County Commission, and the full commission, and they approved it unanimously. I'm here tonight for you folks to see if there's, with your approval, hopefully I can get before the full commission and make this request. I go to the Grundy work session next week, and then the Monday after Thanksgiving, the full commission up there as well. And trust me when I say I don't make this request lightly. I was brought up where you didn't waste. You know, I was out there with my daddy. We picked up nails and screws, and it seemed like all the, tying twine on the end of other twine, because you made do with what you had as long as you could. But this is it's the only way we could really ever ask for local funding. I'll make a commitment to you. I'm never going to come and ask for your tax dollars. I feel like that's a state obligation. But as far as being able to help the people in this district, because the investigator would be used in all 6 counties, I'm coming to all 6 of y'all to ask. So I appreciate any help you could give me, but I'm here to answer any questions you have as well.
So the state provides 2 investigators for the DA's office?
They do.
But they don't provide any investigators for the public defender's office?
And I do need to clarify that a little bit. They technically will supply an investigator for each district. But years ago, when the Public Defender's Office conference was formed in 1989, we're fairly recent vintage, and the district public defender could make a choice of having an investigator in a slot or a lawyer. And my predecessor in office, Phil Condor, who was a really good guy and a great boss to me for many years, he chose to eventually put a lawyer in that just because of the sheer number of courts we have to cover. Because we have circuit courts, your trial courts, your sessions courts, which Tommy Ferris's, and then any juvenile courts as well. So my boss, for all those years, decided let's put a lawyer in that spot. And so I'm not saying the state is treating us badly, but this is the only way that we can fund an investigator.
So your office is made up of 2 lawyers, you and 1 more lawyer?
No,
correct?
we have enough. There's 8 lawyers, including me, in the office, but that's covering 3 courts in each of 6 counties. So we actually cover 18 courts doing that, and then the trial prep and And likewise, the public defender's office, we do our own appeals. And I'm not, trust me, I'm friends with all the folks in the district. It's funny because you go and you eat lunch together, and then you go butt heads in the afternoon after. But we all get along, and we scrap, but everybody fights fair. They have more people than we do, but they have more cases than we do. But the DA's office also does not have to prosecute their own appeals. The Attorney General's office in Nashville, when a case is over here and once it goes to appeal, the AG's office in Nashville does theirs, but we handle our own appeals. That's okay, but again, that's more lawyer time that keeps us out from investigating cases. I'm being like a lawyer tonight. I'm answering easy questions with long answers. You stop me anytime I do.
Myself, I spoke to several of our local attorneys, and I mean, they're all on board with this.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I had a couple actually call me, but do you have any idea what the salary is? I don't really care, but I just.
No, there is, and I should have pulled the chart. It is based on experience.
Okay.
The TCA, there is a TCA section on it, which is 814-101 et sec. So under 814 and that section after that, it lists what assistant public defenders make, what the investigators make, and a few chapters before that, it lists what all the DAs make and their investigators make. So it's in the green books. It's just I don't have it. But
Is it usually a deputy?
most of the time, yes. And like I say, although I don't have anyone in mind at this time, because I don't know how long it would be, my thoughts are probably either a retired cop or maybe somebody that's still active and just would rather, go into investigation. But generally, they know what to go look for and the questions to ask. And, I want somebody that knows what they're doing.
You want the experience?
Absolutely. So.
I mean, some of y'all, like Larry Davis was.
Yeah, he was with the DA's
Yeah,
office.
Investigator for the DA's office.
And Larry's a good example of somebody who retired but still wants to keep doing something.
It sounds to me like it levels the playing field. I mean, that's what I was saying to Jeffrey when I spoke with him on the phone. It seems sort of unbalanced now if you have two with the prosecution, none with the.
Well, this gives the people
Everybody.
that you're representing that can't afford
Yeah.
the lawyer a little better time.
You know what I see my job as? It's not to get this person off or to do this or do that. Honestly, my job is to make sure a poor man gets a fair shake in court, just
Yeah.
like somebody with money.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I want everybody to have the fair shake. And this will help me do that.
I move we send it on the commission.
Got a motion? I hear a second.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I'm just going to say, my fear is I'll get in trouble, I'll have to be defended by you.
You need to make sure.
But we're going to investigate your case.
So, yeah. Second, you guys second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed?
Folks, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
December 5th is
No, it's,
full.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's what was on your website.
Yeah,
December 5th.
December 5th, yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Tom.
First Monday night in December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to stay, but that's all I have.
You're missing a lot of fun, but go ahead.
Well, I have to drive back over the mountain in the snow, but I'll see you all first Monday in December.
All right.
Thanks much.
7 o'clock upstairs.
All
Thank you,
right.
Mr. Hall.
Oh, in the courtroom?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's.
The old court there, yeah.
We'll do it. See you later.
See you.
Thanks.
I guess the only other thing
Take it
we have
easy,
here
folks.
is the notaries. So we got 8 of them this time. I'll entertain a motion to send those to the full commission.
Make a motion, send it to the commission.
Got a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Yes, ma'am. Need a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I was even.